What's good, motherfuckers? I'm taking over this bitch. Ash isn't even here. Okay, he is here. You heard him. But what's up, motherfuckers? From the other side of the pond, the good old U.S. of A. in the hottest fucking part of the country, where it's 120 degrees outside at this moment in Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Eddie Law. Of course, you know me from the MMA Advocates, and of course, the one and only, my brother on the other side of the lake of the Atlantic, my boy Ash. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Fucking, you have no idea how warm it is over here for us in England. We're genuinely all dying. Like, we're all melting. Like, every last one of us. We're not sunny people. We are not tropical people. We're not built for this. We're built for rain, sleet, and snow. And the fact that we're getting like 28s and 29s is murdering people. It's absolutely killing everybody. So
I have friends in Ireland. They keep fucking sending me those screenshots of their fucking temperature and shit. I'm like, I mean, look, I don't want to hear that shit. All right, until you hit 120, eat a dick. All right, I don't fucking care. The desert is the worst place. That's what, you know what's funny? You know, like the UFC and all these MMA shows are in boxing, especially, are all in Vegas.
Yeah,
Vegas is hot as fucking balls too. I don't know what the fuck you want to go there? That place is awful. You know what I mean? Like, it's just as bad as here.
I couldn't deal with it, bro. Honestly, like, my mom's just got over to Vegas. Her and her fiance, they're both getting married. So my mom and her boyfriend I think will be, by this time they'll actually be like husband and wife, which is kind of insane. But yeah, they're over in Vegas right now, and they were saying that it was absolutely insanely hot, and I can't even deal with it over here. Like, I'm genuinely like, I think I woke up yesterday in a puddle, and I was kind of confused. But luckily, it was just me melting and no kind of funky business. So it's all good.
Yeah, no weird shit. See, at least in Vegas, it's legal to walk around with alcohol. Like in most of the states, it's not. In Las Vegas, almost exclusively, you can walk around with beer, whatever alcohol you want. That's why I don't know if you've ever seen the pictures of these assholes with these giant fucking things of whatever you can throw in there. Dude, there's these long ass fucking like pipe looking things that hold alcohol, right? And it's like insane. It's like 64 ounces. What's up?
Oh, no. I don't know how much an ounce is.
Okay.
It's not like a stein, is it? Like the Germans have, is it?
No. It's way bigger than that.
Okay.
No, I prefer that. I also prefer those. I have one of those somewhere.
I used to have one ages ago, but I don't know where it went. I got it from a German market that comes over here. Like, it comes every winter. And like the thing's like the size of my head. It's fucking huge.
When I know I'm gonna get a good beer, I take this thing out of the cupboard. I clean it real good, wash it real nice, and I shove it in the freezer overnight. If I know I'm gonna have some good fucking beer. And I get that good beer, I pour it in, I sit back, and they just taste so much better when it's freezing cold. It's the best shit.
Oh hell yeah! I don't think you could drink like I'm not a massive beer drinker. If I'm gonna drink any kind of beer, it's usually like a Desperado or a Corona or anything like that. I don't fuck with just normal beers. Like, I don't know. I just think it's bullshit. It tastes like piss, but yeah.
A lot of them do. I tell you what, I drank so much Corona in college, I killed the taste. Now it tastes like legit piss.
Fuck that noise. Yeah. When I was a kid, I think what it is when I was young, when I was 16, when I first left high school, my first ever job was in a nightclub, and it was collecting glasses. So when this club used to be like insanely busy, it used to be like 1,000 deep on a student night. So like there was 1,000 students in there and shit. So you're going to see me wipe my forehead a lot during this video because it's warm as shit right now. But yeah, so when we used to collect all the glasses and stuff like that, we used to have to empty the bins that were in the corners of the club. Now, people would throw random bottles in there that were half full, quarter full, whatever, and they were still filled with shit. And so they'd throw in these bottles, and because it was so warm, because it was a small club, if you had 1,000 people in there, it had that kind of, I don't know if you've ever been to like a really small like hip hop concert or like a really small rock concert where you can taste it. You can legit taste the fucking sweat in the fucking air. And like, genuinely, when we used to empty these bins, it were like fermented, and it just smelled like piss. So like, that completely put me off lager as a 16-year-old guy. Like, do you know what I mean? So I just went to spirits. It was straight to Sambuca, straight to Jägermeister, and straight to Jack Daniels. They were my choices of poison.
Oh, Jack Daniels is the shit, especially I like the honey Jack, because you can drink that straight out the bottle. Right, you can drink Jack straight out the bottle. Regular Jack you can. It's not the best thing ever, but it's regular Jack you can. But the honey Jack is this big shit. And then they have this new one, the Fireball.
Yeah, the Fireball
Jack Daniels. It's good. It's good. I have to mix that one with Coke though. That's I start coughing my ass off and take a shot of that.
See, the thing is, though, is if you're walking around with just like a normal bottle of Jack Daniels and you're sipping out of it, you're about to catch a lawsuit. Like something bad's gonna happen if you're walking around with Jack Daniels bottle in your hand. Like you're just not gonna be in a good position by the end of it. Whereas like the honey Jack Daniels, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to have the same kick. The Fireball's nice, the Gentleman Jack's nice. I keep on eyeing up one of the Frank Sinatra ones. Because the Frank Sinatra is like, I think it's £150, so that's like $200 or something like that. You know, like in dollars, I think. And yeah, like I keep on like looking at it and going, well, maybe one day.
It's too crazy, man. That's why I fuck with the Devil's Lettuce more than I do any kind of alcohol.
See, that's the thing though. Like, I'm not like a big drinker, but for me, if I'm going to drink, I need to drink something that I'm like that's a proper drink. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't drink all this fucking bullshit, like fucking like light drinks and wine and stuff like that. Like, if I'm going to drink, I need Mr. Jack Daniels by my side. He's got my back. I got you. I was in Mexico, the land of tequila, all right, for my cousin's wedding like 5 years ago, and I mean, like I stopped at a liquor store. And I was like, tequila, cool, whatever, but everyone wants to drink a tequila. Then I saw they had imported Jack Daniels. So I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, give me that shit. I drank that throughout the whole wedding. I was fucked up, but it was great. I think that's the case, though. I think one of the other problems that I had is I used to be a big shot drinker. So, like, when I was younger and stuff, like, whatever I had to drink, I'd have, like, 3 or 4 shots to go with it. I don't know if you've got it in the States, but have you got a drink called Aftershock by any chance?
Ah, man, I've never heard of it or seen it, but I'm sure someone has it.
It's like a strong kind of like I don't even know what you'd consider it. It's like a liquor kind of thing, but they do like all these different colors. And when we used to walk up into this bar, the first thing we all used to do is we'd order the 5 colors that were available, which was black, silver, green, blue, and red. And we'd literally bang them all out before we had his first drinks. We'd like means do as we used to go on. So it was like you had to go hard when you first went into the first bar. And that's why we always ended up in fucking horrible states.
Yeah. Dude, you know what was bad about alcohol is it's like if it's you know how bad it is depending on when it comes in, right? If it comes in a big glass bottle, you might be okay. If it comes in a plastic bottle, you are fucked. Oh, like you're gonna be sick as shit. There's this fucking shit that my friends drink just as a gag. They're assholes. Fucking they buy it. It's just called Red, and it's literally red. And
is it Red Abs? Is it Red Abs? Is it Red Abs?
No, it just says red on it. I don't know what else it says on it, but
no, I'm pretty sure. Like in when I was in Spain and I was working out as like a bar promoter. Do you know what I mean? Like getting people to come into the bars and shit. And I was doing that in Magaluf. Anybody who's English is just turn around and go, "Oh my god, you've probably been such disgusting things in that fucking country." Because anybody knows anything about Magaluf, it's one of the most craziest places like in Europe as far as like people going there and getting fucked up in every context. But yeah, the point being is my last night, I thought it'd be really smart to drink red absinthe before my flight.
Oh, absinthe is shit. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, this one comes in a plastic red bottle though, because we were smuggling it in because I didn't have much money because I had to get the flight the next day home. And like we ended up staying up till like 5 a.m, and I had to leave, and I even packed, but I had to leave 2 hours later and get in a taxi and then get to the airport and get my flight and everything like that. So I had to stay awake after being up all night drinking absinthe and shit, and I'm packing my bag at 5 o'clock in the morning while 7 o'clock, and then like I had to run with my fucking suitcase fucked out of my face. And, like I wouldn't have even been surprised if the fucking flight, like if the people at the desk could have been, "You ain't getting on this plane, you fucked up." Like I was absolutely like, I was just such in a bad state, and this family could tell because I was all by myself and I just had my hands like on my face, like I was crying, and there was like, "You know what? Come with us. We'll make sure you get on your plane."
Oh, that's nice. That's good. That's good. Good people. Good people.
There's some good people around, man, but fuck, man. If you ever go to Magaluf, like if you ever come over to Europe and you're wanting to just get fucked up, you go to like Magaluf, Zante, and all these kind of like places, but bad times. Fucking times. It's like the equivalent of like, you know, when you have like your Mardi Gras and all that kind of like stuff, like and your spring breaks and all that kind of stuff. It's like the equivalent of that. So I'm not about that life.
Fuck that. You know what's funny is that people here, they just any reason to get drunk. Like we have this whole like anti-immigrant thing and anti-Latino thing as far as like immigration goes, in the U.S.
Yeah.
But believe me, all the white people partying on fucking Cinco de Mayo. Promise you that shit's out there. Meanwhile, all the Mexicans are the ones working that night. None of us give a shit. None of us give a fuck. We don't. None of us celebrate Cinco de Mayo. It's not even a thing. That's legit like a commercialized like holiday now. So people drink.
It's kind of like St. Patrick's Day over here. Like we're very similar in this. Like I know that's Ireland, like that's the Republic of Ireland, but the point still being is like even English celebrate St. Patrick's Day because it's just a day to get fucked up. There is no relevance whatsoever to that day to the English people. We don't even like our day is called St. George. That's our day. You know, like that's our representative of our saint. We don't drink fuck all for him, but when St. Patrick's Day comes through and all that fucking whiskey starts getting from your pod, we're all about it. It's a stupid thing, man. But
St. Patty was crazy. That's why fucking. No, they celebrate it here too, and it's the best shit because they'll close off entire corners here for those kind of parties for St. Patrick's Day, and you go in there and everyone's like, yeah, wearing green and shit. It's the dumbest fucking. But you know, whatever gets people to, I guess, forget their real lives for a couple hours, or forget everything for a couple hours. But that fucked up.
I don't know. Like there used to be times where I used to fucking get messed up all the time and used to make me stupid cocktails and all this other kind of stuff. And like now, like I went out for my brother's kind of like birthday, my best friend's birthday, you know, I mean, my brother and whatnot. And we went out, and honestly, like there were people like bumping into me, and I had like my glass of Jack Daniels, and it like even the tiniest of drop just kind of like went out of it, and I was like, I'm gonna have to fuck somebody up right now. I can't deal with this. Like, keep your fucking distance, keep your fucking space. I don't need this. I'm here to just have a couple of drinks and just chill. And I want to go home, and I just want to watch the boxing, and I want to watch the UFC that was on afterwards. And like it got to the point where the irony was that I wanted to go home and see confrontations, and I wanted to leave where I was before I got into a confrontation because it was doing my head in. I just don't understand why people don't have spatial awareness when they've had a drink. It makes me want to slap a motherfucker.
Oh, it happens all the time, man. All the time.
Okay. But the thing is, though, is this weekend it kind of sucked for me because we was talking about the Singapore one, and it sucked for the US where you wouldn't be able to watch it live per se, unless you were willing to stay up till like 1, 2, 3 in the morning.
Well, it's like here and on the West Coast, it's like California, Arizona, so that whole left side of the country. The prelim started at 2 a.m., like 1:45 a.m., and then the main card started at 5. I caught the co-main and the main. I just woke up for whatever reason, and then went to watch them. So I caught the one round that mattered in the Arlovsky fight, and then I caught the home Correa fight as a whole. But most people weren't watching. It was really weird. The whole card was set up kind of weird. But
I want to know something really strange about that fucking card, though. Now you'd think that just with it being a Fight Pass exclusive, it weren't put on anywhere else. It was just done so that everybody could watch it because it was in a stupid time zone and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now the funny thing is I couldn't watch the what's the word? I couldn't watch the pay-per-view whilst I was at work. So I came home.
Mm-hmm.
I went to put it on. Guess what? It was blacked out.
BT got that shit.
Nah, well, apparently so, but it was supposed to be Fight Pass exclusive. So, excuse me, sir. If I want to watch it on Fight Pass, I want to watch it all on Fight Pass. Like, even the exclusive Fight Pass prelims, I get. The prelims are always on both. They're always on BT, and they're always on on the Fight Pass. So, like, I don't understand why they make it a Fight Pass exclusive fucking show. And then when I want to watch it on Fight Pass, because, hey, some of us work Saturdays, guys. It's an amazing concept. But we work Saturdays now. Like, there's none of this fucking Monday to Friday bullshit anymore. Like, motherfuckers have to work Sundays as well. I work Sundays. So, when all you guys are nice and chilling after you fucking watch the UFC on a Saturday night and you all go to bed? I'm getting up for work in 3 hours. Like, fuck y'all.
You know what that was like? It's those damn TV deals, man. And they're all different. All those TV deals are different. BT's different. The TBS Azteca in Mexico now is different. All these other countries have it different, dude. Way different. That's why, like I did the whole what they call it, the unplugged movement. That's that shit where they're basically everyone's cutting their cable. I did that shit too. So the way I watch it is basically, long story short, Fight Pass may or may not think that I'm in Mexico when I watch it. I'm just saying. That's how I watch the FS1 cards on Fight Pass. Okay, if you want to download how to get it done, hit me up on the DMs at Elaw31 on Twitter, and I'll tell you it's so easy. But like I said, Fight Pass may or may not think I'm in a different country and let me watch Fox Sports 1 and all that on fucking Fight Pass.
I'm just saying this, like when I was inquiring about moving to Canada, like that's something that I want to do in the future. And I was thinking about, I was like, well, it'd be great because, I'd be able to go to the States and stuff. I was thinking, fuck, I'm actually going to pay for pay-per-views. And I was like, actually, what I'll do is
exactly.
I might have to have a discussion with some friend in the UK, hook up a BT Sports account and possibly work something out with a dear friend. But fucking the TV deal's up soon though, isn't it? And there's big rumors that they're going to be going to ESPN.
There's a rumor, but there's also another rumor that Fox and UFC already have a deal ready to go. As soon as this one runs out, they're going to sign it. So I hope not. And honestly, I'm not a fan of ESPN either. But I mean, where are you going to go? At this point, they might as well stay pat.
On ESPN though, don't they? Whenever they talk to that Brett guy, is it Yokomoto?
Okamoto, yeah.
Yeah, they always drop exclusives, or when they're ever the top, like if ever Dana's going on a TV show, always seems to be ESPN. So it's like, fuck it, why don't you just fucking move to ESPN? Like if that's the
exactly.
Because I don't know in the States, is Fox the bigger one or is ESPN still?
ESPN is still the bigger one. Now, mind you, here's the thing about TV. I mentioned a second ago the unplugged thing, right? ESPN is losing subscribers by the millions every year, by the millions. It's gotten so bad. They just fired a shit ton of people all at once. Mind you, they fired all the actual reporters and kept all the fucking jackasses. So like people that like I think Ed Warder got let go. He's a great journalist, right? He got fired after like 20 some odd years or 30 some odd years at ESPN. All right. But Screaming A. Smith, this motherfucker screaming on TV in the morning, he's still got a job. How does that fucking work out? You know what I mean? But here's the point. Like, they're losing so much money, they're firing people, right? Fox Sports is still on the come up. So they're not at that point yet. They're still trying to grow, right? So at some point they're gonna be even. And I mean Fox Sports might even surpass them. But ESPN's bigger, but also like the funny thing you say about how Dana goes on ESPN, it depends on what the news is, right? For example,
of course.
Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather, where did that break? ESPN. Okay. Tyron Woodley, Damian Maia. Not only was it Tyron Woodley doing the announcement and not Dana White, it was on fucking Fox Sports 1 during that UFC Tonight shit that nobody watches. Okay. And it didn't matter. So UFC's gonna do whatever they want. They're gonna keep going to fucking ESPN and break news and shit like that. It doesn't make sense for me to stay at Fox Sports, really. To me, honestly. And also that bullshit. Like, for example, this weekend, we'll talk about the card this weekend in a little bit. This weekend is in Oklahoma City. The fucking the prelims, like the TV prelims are on Fox Sports 2, which nobody has. Like, nobody has Fox Sports 2. That's a waste of a channel. That channel has like fucking like badminton and ping pong on it. Nobody watches Fox Sports 2.
Oh my days! It sounds like with BT Sports, I think it's like BT Sports 3 has all that kind of bullshit on. Nobody watches it. If it doesn't have football on it or anything like that, there's just no point.
Yeah, no, exactly. And like fucking the thing about the other thing I hate about it, about that Fox Sports deal, is I don't know about how it is with BT Sport, but over here, for example, if there's a baseball game going on and it's already on Fox Sports 1 and the prelims are about to start, they kick the prelims to Fox Sports 2 and leave that lame-ass fucking game on Fox Sports 1. And if you watch Twitter, it literally drives people fucking insane.
Yeah, I've seen people complaining about that.
I lose that. Once again, Fox Sports 1 or Fight Pass doesn't think I'm here. I think I'm somewhere else. So I don't get that problem. You motherfuckers on cable get that problem, but whatever. But it's such a fucking lame-ass deal, really. And
I don't know about over here though, because I think with the channels on ours, we don't tend to have those on the same channel. Whereas, with that same thing said, I have known that when basketball games have been on or baseball games have been on, they have had a delay and they cut out the first half. This is the reason why I didn't watch the latest Tough, because 2 of the episodes got cut short. I missed like the first half an hour of each of them, because of the overlay of the baseball and the basketball games that were going on.
That's serious. You know why I didn't watch Tough? 2 reasons. 1, I'm live during that fucking shit, and 2, it blows asshole.
Well, yeah, I just like to, but I'd like to watch it because it's there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
If you put like ACB or if you put like fucking Rising on in fucking BT Sports, I'd watch it.
I'll watch
like,
it
if it's accessible and I'm there. I'm watch it. So it's like that's why like this Saturday there's Cage Warriors, and usually it'd be such a pain in the ass for me that the UFC is usually on a Saturday, but the fact that it's on a Sunday this week is a godsend because I'm gonna get like a few of my friends over. None of us work Mondays. We're all gonna have some beers. We're gonna have some jacks. We're gonna fucking eat some brownies, wink wink, and then we're gonna have a good time. Like it's gonna be a beautiful thing. And like I'm all about it because like the thing is that most of them are casual fans, but the cool thing is when you show them that Kevin Lee, Mike Chelsea press conference, they're sold. Like they don't even need to like know what's going on. They're like, oh, these guys are gonna throw down, and it's like that fight might not even go that way. But the point being is most of them are just like, fuck it, I'm down.
No, absolutely. Let's talk about that a little bit. The fucking card this week, and I know we gotta get into Singapore, but real quick, this weekend is on Sunday. On Saturday is Bellator NYC. Do you think the UFC is kind of like, oh, let's not compete with Bellator, or it just happened to turn out that way? That it was just Sunday card.
I don't know because, in fairness, I think that if they do it on the Sunday and it's only a fight night, so why put up a fight night that's not a super stacked card up against it? You know what I mean? Like, why would you?
Here's my point, though. Let's compare the cards. All right.
Oh,
let's compare the cards.
Right,
Okay. The main event for Bellator NYC is Son and Vanderlei Silva, right? Chael Sonnen and Vanderlei Silva. The main event for which is gonna be two old guys getting in there going, oh come on, bro, respect Brazil, that bullshit. It's gonna be that the whole fucking time. All right, and although it scares the shit out of me every time I see it, if I was gonna fight somebody and they did this shit right here, the Vanderlei this shit, I'd be freaking out. Okay. That being said, it's still two old ass motherfuckers that are gonna fight, and it might even look like the Tito fight where it was kind of lame. The main event for this Oklahoma UFC is Michael Chiesa and Kevin Lee. Two guys that you can say are in their prime. They really dislike each other, like legitimately. They fucking threw down at the fucking press conference because Lee was talking shit about Chiesa's mom, or saying something about his mom. All right, and those guys are high level guys now. Okay, co-main event for Bellator New York, Fedor against Mitrione, right? Matt Mitrione. You can make a case for that one for the most part, but it's mostly a show too. All right. Co-main event for this Oklahoma card is Tim Bosch against Johnny Hendricks. Tim Bosch somehow pulls off wins, and Johnny Hendricks is still at 185. Just see if he can keep that up, right? Against a big-ass 185er in Tim Bosch.
That's a huge step up in talent.
Exactly. And then that's when we start falling a little bit on that pay-per-view in New York, because the next fight under them is, I believe it's Chandler against who the fuck knows this guy.
Yeah,
right?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Okay. On the UFC card is Felice Herrick, who you at least know, and a lot of people like. She's a good-looking chick to them and all that. I couldn't look at her face. I'm sorry. Against Justine Kish, who I don't even know. Okay. And then what we got on the Bellator card? You got what's his name? Douglas Lima against Lawrence Larkin. Legit fight. That I want to see.
That's the best fight on the card.
Easily, right?
My country, man.
Oh, yeah. And then on the UFC card is Joaquin Christensen against Dominic Reyes. Okay, fine. But at this point, I still have the UFC card a little above the Bellator card that I'm not going to want to fucking pay for, right? Then the first fight on the pay-per-view for Bellator is Aaron Pico against, who the fuck was his name? Zach Freeman, I think? Who's his name? Zach Freeman? Okay. Aaron, now, mind you, I'm excited about Aaron Pico. He's a 20-year-old kid.
Oh, that was the
wrestler,
guy, wasn't it? He's got the hype train around him. He's like the legit.
Oh, he's a thing. Yeah. This is one of those guys that they legit hired. They signed straight out of wrestling. This kid never fought MMA. He has, however, won boxing tournaments. He's got championships in boxing, got championships in wrestling. Okay, so he's legit. He's got the tools. It is whether or not he can put them together in MMA, and he's training over at AKA. With Daniel Cormier, Cain Velasquez. I'm naming all the injured guys, by the way.
So I was going to say he's going to not turn up.
So he's not going to make the fight. Or wait, he might have to use a towel. But you know what I'm saying, right? He's at a legit
he's
camp.
A prospect. He's a blue chipper.
Exactly. So that's the other one that Bellator, the main cover of Bellator kind of wins over, in my opinion, is that Pico, just to see what he can do against the guy that's 8-2 in Freeman, who's actually not a bad dude. He's actually pretty decent. Okay, and that's against Tim Means against Alex Garcia. I don't know about you. I like Tim Means. The Dirty Bird is always a grind out dude.
And he always tries to smash folk out, so it's like you're going to be drawn to see
you like to watch him. Yeah. So right there, just on the main card for both cards, okay, I'm giving it to UFC winning that one, my opinion, okay? And then on the undercard, the prelims, the main fucking fight on the Bellator prelims is, okay, first of all, how stupid is it that we're like, okay, well, Bellator 180 is the prelims and Bellator NYC is the preview? Motherfuckers, what are we doing here? What game are we fucking playing? This isn't fucking elementary. I don't have to learn my ABCs and my numbers, fuckface. Just fucking tell me, just Bellator NYC or Bellator 180, up and down, bitch. Okay? All right. So then the feature prelim for Bellator 180 is fucking Phil Davis against Ryan Bader, right? Two UFC guys who already fought, and Bader won to a decision. And this is for the belt.
That wasn't a fun fight. That wasn't a fun fight. That wasn't a
boring fight. Now, mind you, this is gonna be a more fun fight because Bader is coming off 2 knockout wins in a row. He hit Latifi with that knee, which is arguable, and he knocked the shit out of an old ass Lil Nog, right? Yeah. So my hope is that Ryan Bader thinks he's still a knockout. He's a knockout artist now, okay? And he goes into trying to knock Davis out because that'd be entertaining to see him try and knock somebody out and knock Davis out. Mind you, Davis has hands too. That is against the feature prelim of UFC. BJ Penn against Dennis Siver. I don't give a fuck how old BJ Penn is. You're tuning in to watch BJ Penn. I'm tuning in to watch BJ Penn against Dennis Siver, who, by the way, a win over Dennis Siver got Conor McGregor a title shot. I'm just saying. Look into it.
Yeah, that was one of those things, though, that like he was knocking out everybody, though, and everybody who'd fought against him. But I just want to throw in the specific thing that makes this an entertaining fight between Siver and BJ Penn, because we'll break it down real legit when we go into the episode, like the next episode that'll be dropping on Thursday. Evening over here, guys, afternoon for you guys in the States. But the one thing that's interesting about that fight, and the one selling point that I have with that fight, is these are the kind of fights when these fighters are getting older that we want to see them in. We don't want to see them getting, a prospect who's going to murder them. We want to see these guys who are on the way out of top 15 or even just left the top 15. We want to see these old guys run out the contract against somebody. If they beat them in dominant fashion, give him a top 15 guy. Give him like a 13 to 15 guy. Other than that, leave them alone. Don't ever give them a top 5. That's bullshit.
You give them a fight that they can win, honestly.
And I think Siver could win that fight. I think BJ could win that fight. I think it's not as... I think BJ's got more tools, but I think Siver is just as in it as anybody else because of their age thing. And I think it'll be a good fight because I think both of them will come to bang, so...
Yeah, and then look, and I don't even have to go into the rest of the Bellator 180 piss card because it's dog shit, okay? But on the rest of the UFC card, the prelims, Clay Guida against Eric Koch, legit. Vitor Miranda can knock motherfuckers out. They call him Little Machida or whatever they call him, this motherfucker now. Against Marvin Vittori, who's an Italian kid who can actually fight. Carlos Parza ain't fighting fucking forever against Marina Moroz, who's legit, okay? But that's my point. That's my point. From top to bottom, my opinion, this UFC card just blows that Bellator card out the water. What Bellator has for it is it's an event. It's not a fight. I mean, it's fights, all right, but it's a spectacle. Does the Last Emperor have anything left against Matt Mitrione, who fucking can't get to a fight without having to try and piss out some fucking kidney stones? Okay, and then will Chael Sonnen and Vanderlei Silva actually pan out as a fucking legit fight?
Will that fight even happen? That's the key thing.
That's it too. They still got to weigh in. They're still getting fucking piss tests and all that shit.
I'm amazed that they're like, when I heard that they're, under strict testing, I was like, do you hate money? Do you not want to have a main event? Do you want like Bellator NYC not to happen? Like, what's going on here? Scott.
Like, do you really want your Bellator NYC pay-per-view to be headlined by either Fedor Mitrione or even worse, Douglas Lima and Larkin? Honestly, even though that'd be a better fight?
Scott, do you hate money?
Exactly. Scott Coker, I give Scott Coker a lot of credit because he's been making some legit fucking moves. Getting Larkin, getting Rory McDonald, I'll even give him Ryan Bader. Okay, just getting more names in the 205 division for them. It's just a name. You don't need, he don't need to be able to fight. Just a name.
My question about the Bellator card is this. This is the one thing that I ask you about it, though. With these new signings of guys that have come from the UFC, if these guys, no matter how talented they are, if they lose their opening fights against UFC guys, against, the Bellator guys, quote unquote, do you know what I mean? Does that take the sting out? Does that kind of ruin the signing? You know what I mean? Because like, I'll put it this way: if Rory had got chinned by Semtex,
I'll tell you what. Ask Benson Henderson. Ask Benson Henderson what it did for him.
This is my point.
Exactly.
Now, talking about one of the guys who was one of the pound for pounds at the time, like top 5, and like now we're looking at him and we're like, dog, you can't even hang in Bellator. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's some legit guys in Bellator. Don't get me wrong, but like if you threw some bullshit 170er, like a wrestler, like a legit wrestler from the UFC, and you took him and sent him over, and he fought against like I don't know, like Michael Venom Page, and Michael Venom Page chins him. Everybody's gonna go, Michael Venom Page is legit. But then on the flip side, if Roy McDonald gets chinned by somebody like Semtex, we're gonna go, really?
Look, yeah. Look, man, here's the thing too. It's just again, just like you said, it's a sting, right? Benson lost to who? That's the Russian dude first, right? And then he lost to Michael Chandler, beat him too.
No harm in losing to Chandler though, because Chandler.
No. Right. Now, on that point exactly. To me and you, no big deal. To everyone that doesn't know who the fuck Michael Chandler is, they're like, fuck Benson Henderson. He lost to some no-name guy named Michael Chandler. You know what I mean? All the casuals, they have no clue who Michael Chandler is. You and I know, and so we respect it.
Could ruin that 155 division.
Oh, easily.
He would wrestle fuck everybody. And if what's the scary thing? If you look about it in context, and this is why I feel sorry for a lot of fighters, and this is why I don't give GSP as much credit as a lot of people do about being the greatest of all time in this, that, and the other. And this is the main reason. Like, do I respect what he does? Yes, I do. I respect anybody who steps in that octagon and wins, and that doesn't put themselves in harm's way per se, but they do try to win the fight. But if Michael Chandler had come round 10 years ago, people would have been talking about Michael Chandler as one of the greatest of all times, the same way they do BJ Penn, because they both wrestle fuck the shit out of everybody.
You mean GSP?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly how they be talking about him, just like GSP, because, and the thing about GSP, and people get mad at me because they're like, is GSP a draw? No. At least not for me.
It was for the time. It was for the time period.
For the time. If and when he comes back this time around, he won't be. I mean, maybe the first fight, but as soon as everyone sees that he's just back to the wrestle fucking shit, they're not gonna fucking tune in anymore.
But I was discussing with somebody earlier. We was talking about the fact that GSP apparently still wants to fight, and there's these talks of him wanting to go against certain people and this, that, and the other. And we were talking about it, and apparently it's going to be at 170. He's going to fight. Apparently. Now, if you look at that top 5 ranking, the only person who I legit think he could beat, and I mean like beat, the only person in that top 5 in the welterweight division is Neil Magny.
And Neil Magny's like 8 feet taller than him.
Exactly. But we saw that Hendricks could wrestle with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Hendricks won that fight, in fairness, against
I did too.
Against Larkin. Not Larkin, pardon me, against Magny. But if you look at that top 5 division, I don't think he could beat Masvidal.
Oh man. You know what? Masvidal's not impossible to take down.
But he gets
Huh?
But he gets up.
He gets back up. That's the question: is can GSP keep him down, right? And ground and pound him and all that. But I think Jorge Masvidal would be a hard fight for him. I think Robbie Lawler would beat GSP. I think Wonder Boy.
I looked at that in that top 5 that I thought if anybody in that group of people that he could get down, like the elite of that top 5, Lawler was the only one I thought he could take down and maybe keep down for like in the later rounds. But the first few rounds, I don't think he would. But then he has to avoid getting chinned. So. Oh
yeah, but don't get it twisted. GSP is gonna get the winner of Woodley Maia. He's gonna get the winner of Woodley Maia if it's a 170. He's gonna fight for the title. They're not gonna just make him fight anybody in top 5, dude.
Right. I will put a house on Damian Maia. If Damian Maia versus GSP, I think Damian Maia wins hands down. If it's Woodley, I don't put my house on it, but I still think Woodley wins.
No, I agree. No, but the thing is too, it's funny because if Damian Maia, if he fights Damian Maia, I can see GSP trying to keep it on the feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But can he stay away from that big ass motherfucker?
That's the problem, right? Even if GSP gets crazy and takes Maia down, I'm calling a sub off his back. It'd be fucking crazy. Mind you, GSP Jiu-Jitsu is fucking legit, but it's not Damian Maia legit.
I can't find. This sucks. Right, hold on 1 second. Right, so Damian Maia's reach is 72.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 72-inch reach. Now GSPs, I'm just pulling this up. So excuse me, guys, whilst I'm being like rude as fuck right now. But oh my days! Right, UFC Fight Pass, get your shit together, son. It doesn't have his fucking reach.
They don't, dude. They don't have anything. They don't have jack shit. They can't even get pictures of fighters up. You know, the new fighters are always just like the new fighters are like Noob Saibot from fucking Mortal Kombat. That's what every single new fighter is.
Unlockables. Like you need to unlock them motherfuckers before you can actually fucking see them and play as them. What the fuck? Right. Exactly. Okay. No way. Eat my ass. Right. Wikipedia can suck a big ball too, because you know how much they're saying GSP's like reaches 76.
What?
He's really? 5'10".
That's you know what? He's got fucking gorilla arms. That's crazy.
Bro, come on.
That's fucking nuts.
I'm not buying this. Come on, George, get your shit together and update your fucking.
Hey. 2 hours ago, just real quick on the side, Conor McGregor posted a picture. He's playing touch butt in a fucking boxing ring.
I was gonna drop it. I 100% was gonna call this out. Right.
Okay. Touch butt. Fuck that guy. That's good.
Right. Oh, right. So apparently now, fucking even Sheerdog doesn't have his reach.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised. What can I say? Sure. Everyone's. I don't know. At this point. I don't know what changed that. It used to be that those stats were important, right?
Fucking
now it's like, whatever. Who gives a shit if we have it or not?
Well, the fact is, though, I'm pretty sure Damian Maia has the reach advantage because we know he has the height advantage by about 4 inches. So I'm going with Damian Maia being able to tag him because GSP is going to have to literally try and Superman punch him and run like a bitch. Like he's going to have to run ragged.
Oh, yeah. But, no, absolutely.
Going to what you were saying about the movement coach. And how disrespectful you were talking about the movement coach of Mr. McGregor as he prepares for the
touch butt in the park.
Biggest touch butt in fucking the biggest fight ever in fucking fight history. Shit. But I did love the fact that I saw a video that 2 people had made characters on WWE 2K17.
Yeah.
And they've got like fucking Conor chasing Floyd around the ring and around the rampway, and then they run back into the ring, and then they do a taunt where Floyd drops to his knees and begs him not to hit him, and then Conor just like looks around, and the next thing you know, Floyd comes up and he just clotheslines him.
I haven't seen that yet. I gotta check it out.
All I know is like when it comes to the whole Conor thing, everything we've said. You know what? Now that the fight's happening, I don't. Until the couple of weeks before, I don't feel like there's much we can really learn or talk about this fight.
There isn't. But here's the thing. Here's what you're gonna see it coming up on in the media. Okay, especially like the ESPNs of the world and the Fox Sports.
I thought we were talking about media.
Oh, okay, media. Yeah. No. But here's the thing. Like you know what I'm saying. Like this fight right now is McGregor's down here and Mayweather's way up here, right? The closer we get to the fight, that shit's gonna even out. They're gonna start convincing the casual fans that McGregor has a legit fucking chance in this fight.
Oh, screw you, man, with that legit bullshit. I hate it.
No. Listen. I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance to win. Okay, McGregor has a chance to win, but in boxing, just the lack of experience. Let's be fucking honest here. All right, McGregor's not a boxer. He's an MMA fighter. He's a mixed martial artist. That guy works with everything, not just his hands. Right? So. Look, and I'll be the first to say, and people get mad at me. I'm like, they're like, oh, he's not gonna land a punch on Mayweather. He's gonna land a few.
Oh, 100%.
It's whether or not he hurts Floyd with those few. Okay, that's my question: is can he hurt him? If he catches him, great, and I think he will hit him at least like solid flush with that left hand. He'll hit him like 4 times, maybe 5 times. Okay, I don't think he's gonna be like crazy. But I think he's gonna land on him.
Well, he's
the problem. The 10-ounce gloves, dude. That's different. Not to mention, Mayweather knows how to take a punch in boxing. Now, here's the chance that I give McGregor, because it will land. It's will Mayweather get hurt? That's what I want to know. And I think it's very possible in the first 2 rounds that if McGregor lands that shit flush, it's clean. Okay, that he can wobble Mayweather and then go after his ass. Okay, I really think that could happen. If he doesn't in the first 2 to 3 rounds, Mayweather's gonna dance around him. He'll lengthen the fight because he feels like it.
I think in the 11th round, you see Conor go for a leg kick. I'm not gonna lie.
I think or it should be like a head kick or some shit.
I keep on seeing people say, like, is he allowed to do like spinning back fists? And I'm like, oh god. Like,
have you ever seen that work in boxing, fuckhead? Like, what are you talking about?
We barely see it in MMA work. So like,
yeah. Yeah, go ahead and try it. Go ahead and try and see how you get boxed the fuck up. Stupid. Jesus, people are fucking dumb as fuck.
100%.
You do that shit, you're gonna get hit on the side of the temple with a monster shot.
The scary thing about a lot of people when it comes to watching fighting, and they don't realize that it's real. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's one of the most eye-opening experiences for me was when I went to MMA events live. And with that same thing said, I think the most eye-opening was when I went a few months back to Almighty FC, when I was literally cage side. And I think when you hear the sound of people legit beating the fuck out of each other with elbows on the ground, and you're hearing that, and you're like, oh, well, that's changed. That's changed my opinion. This isn't fun. This is not the same as when you watch it on TV, because it doesn't feel real. And I think that, that's a credit to the media and stuff like that, and like films and all that kind of other stuff. But the thing is, though, is regardless, like, I don't think people understand. Like, obviously, a fighter passed away this weekend, and it's a sad thing. Because a lot of people don't understand. They go, oh, I wish they'd just fucking stand and bang, bro. I hope they fucking, knock some motherfucker. And you're like, dude, like, I get we want to finish, but like, I don't think people really like understand how fucking dark it is sometimes when these guys are getting knocked out. With that same thing said, there should be better protocol to not let a guy who's been knocked out 7 times in his last 8 fights compete 7 times in 2 years.
No, exactly. I mean, you talk about Tim Hag, he fought he's Canadian, 34 years old. Tim Hag fought in UFC like 4 times, 5 times, something like that, and he didn't do well, so obviously he's not in there. I want to say it was his first boxing match too. I want to say, I'm not sure. But he took a nasty, I believe it was a left hand straight to the face, like right fucking here. And he was going into it, and he took the left, and he just drops.
He goes backwards. It's like he's square. It was like he was
exactly
completely lined up, so he had no back foot. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but this is one of those things that, like, it shows when people don't have those fundamentals, and be caught flat-footed, parallel, and then somebody cracks you. It's the worst thing in the entire world, because you have nothing to stop you.
Yeah, and it's just, it's sad as shit. I mean, the guy that knocked him out, he did an interview, I want to say yesterday, the day before, and he was super emotional. Like, he even said that he knew that it was that Tim Hag was in trouble in the ring. He's like, I knew in the ring that he was fucksville. You know what I mean? And so it's a sad thing to fucking see. And the question, of course, right now is who got him killed? Technically he died as a result of fighting, of getting knocked out. But everyone's like, was it the commission for letting him fight, just like you said, after getting knocked out like 7 or 8 straight times for licensing this motherfucker? Or, this guy? Or is it, it was his trainers for not throwing the towel? Was it him for getting in there in the first place? Was it his family? You know what I mean? Like, all that question's coming out. And it's just, I mean, I don't know. It's fucking sad, dude. I hate seeing that shit. Like,
Well, no, go ahead.
Okay. No, like you were talking a second ago, I've been cage side for 2 Justin Gaethje fights. The Palomino fights, both of them. Both of them wars. Every time that either one of us those guys got hit, I expected that guy to fall. Okay? It was that fucking crazy. And then to talk to Gaethje after the fight and asking him questions and having him slur back, like, if you want to talk about shit getting real, if that Gaethje not being able to speak fucking clearly doesn't get you to think to realize how real this shit is, this poor fellow who died, That'll fucking tell you. You know what I mean? They put their lives on the fucking line, dude.
It's a scary thing because, like, I was talking to Chris Millington about this because he's a guy who's very kind of into his MMA and whatnot. But he was talking about like how he thinks that they should do, regulate it and stuff like that. And I agreed with him when we were talking about this. And there should be certain things. And I said to him, there should be updated medical regulations. God, that was so hard to fucking say. Like a worldwide MMA rules, not by state commission. It should be just 100% thing. There should be the Ali Act, and they should have a union. But with those same things said, until a star who's a fan, who's a fighter, who all the fighters are fans of. So
you're talking about Conor McGregor.
No, we're not talking about Conor McGregor. No, because the fighters don't love Conor McGregor.
Oh, it's true.
Because this is the thing. Let me think of a Cowboy. Say Cowboy had the same popularity as Conor, the crossover appeal, big, humongous star. He's loved by millions, but he's also loved by his fellow fighters.
That makes sense.
Everybody would jump on board. But until that day, if GSP had done it 10 years ago, it'd have happened.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
None of them, when they're all winning and they're all at the top of the mountain, want to share. They all want to complain about it. When, people, and I understand why some people don't like Conor and don't like Ronda for their own personal reasons. Mm-hmm. Like, they might not like arrogant people. They might not like people who are confrontational and disrespectful to their opponents like Ronda was. Fine. But getting these guys on board would have been more pivotal than going against them.
That's exactly what it is. And again, just like you said, you're on top of the mountain, dude. You're getting that money, right? You think Ronda's going to give up the $3-4 million paydays or $8 million, whatever she got was most. You think Conor McGregor is going to give up $10 million paydays?
And why would he do it when these fighters are saying, fuck him, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, and why should he get this and why shouldn't I get that? When you're saying fuck the guy who could potentially earn you more money, and I'm not saying they should kiss his ass, I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying if you want better, like, don't shoot your opportunity. Like, know your worth. So if you know Conor's worth more money than you, and you know this because of what happens and what happens with him, then don't turn around and go fuck Conor McGregor. Like, all you're doing then is looking sour, and he's gonna go, well, fuck you. I'm gonna make 50,000 every time I show up for a press conference, and you aren't getting paid. You're getting your flights paid for in your hotel. I'm getting paid for my entire weekend, my entire entourage. I'm getting paid 50 grand at the local club to just turn up and drink some fucking beer in the fucking back where you're not going to even see me because you're not even allowed in there. Mm-hmm. And it's a shame because, fighters have the opportunity to make something big happen. But the fact is none of them are willing to work together. They're just not. Like, I still think that in the same context that the UFC doesn't care enough to make all the states abide by their own rules, like the universal rules, like everybody should be under the same guideline. Yeah,
and then throwing into the ego, so there's some of these commissioners. I don't know if you remember Pat Lumbaugh. Remember her? Pat Lumbaugh, for those who don't know, is like a Skeletor type of human being that used to be on the I guess you can call it a human being, I'm not sure, but in Nevada State Athletic Commission. And she's the one that tried to ban Nick Diaz for life for weed. For life. For weed. Okay. Right. And then when Nick Diaz showed up with his attorney, okay, and pulled the whole, Fifth Amendment, basically, you don't make any statements because it might, you might be speaking against yourself, basically, at that point. He just said Fifth Amendment over and over and over and over again. Outside of his name. He said his name, or he admitted what his name was. And then Fifth Amendment the rest of the time. By the way, I'm fucking dying watching that.
Of course you are, because you're just seeing him just handle it like a straight G, though. That's why.
Yeah, thug life straight up, right? And Pat Lumbaugh's getting redder and redder and angrier. And she showed her bitterness against Nick. And then, Nick's attorney pulled some shit, and it was just crazy, right? I mean, he still got a year suspension and a little fine, whatever. But when she took on Conor McGregor, she got kicked the fuck off the fucking commission.
you can't take away the guy who's going to bring to your state the amount
exactly
he's going to fucking come through and bring.
Exactly, and it's all about money, and that's my point. It's all about money. The commissions have egos. The UFC has their own egos. Everyone's got their own self-interest in mind, and that's why you don't have all these commissions on point. You know what I mean?
I think it's ridiculous, though. I just think
it's stupid.
All get to the point where we need to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I just think that there's got to be a point where we all just turn around and go, "Look, is this a sport or not? Like, is this a sport? Like, is this?" Like, I know people criticize me for saying this and then going, well, I don't mind that Conor's not defended his belt yet. I get that. I'll be, you know what? I will do what every other MMA fucking fan won't do. In occasions, I'm a hypocrite.
No, me too.
I don't give a fuck. Like, at least I'm honest, though. Like, half of y'all fucking turning around going, like, can't believe that fucking Jermaine Randamines had a belt taken off of her. That's bullshit. And it's like,
I can't.
Like, I can believe it. And it's like people turning around and going, it's bullshit, man. It's like, but you want Bisping to have his belt taken off of him. You want Conor to have his belt taken. It's like, you can't turn around and say, oh, no, Jermaine didn't deserve it. Jermaine didn't deserve it. Like, she legit, like, at least with Conor, all right, hear me out. Just for the example of, at least when Conor turned around and said, find me a number one contender and I will fucking face them.
Yeah, no.
I know obviously he's putting it off by saying, like, I want a number one contender. But let's be honest, Nate is not a number one contender. He beat Michael Johnson and that was it.
Nate's not a number one contender. Nate's a money fight.
Nate's the money fight, 100%. But if Nate was smart and he beat Ferguson, he would be the next in line, no matter what. And if he beat him and he fought him this summer, we know at the end of the year, Conor would come back for one more fight against Nate. We know he would.
For sure.
His ego would not allow him not to.
But his ego in his wallet would be fatter.
Well, but I do think at this point, he doesn't give a fuck about money. Once that Mayweather money comes in, you have to give him a reason to come back to the UFC.
By the way, just
go on
that, I still give it a 50% chance. Like, not 50, I'll give it like a 40% chance that he doesn't come back.
I bet if Nate wins some kind of interim or number one contendership kind of esque match,
he'll come back.
He will come back because I think at that point he doesn't care about the money. He won't care about the money. It will be a nice little payday regardless. But additional to that, it's the only fight will bring him back.
What other fight is there? GSP? No.
When you don't care about money, what's the one thing that will make you fight? Your ego. Ego's powerful. People, it was funny because people were like, oh, I have no ego. You have an ego, motherfucker. It just depends on what that ego is invested in. For example, me personally, like, if you tell me let's go play basketball, these guys, whatever, I'd be like, yeah, go fuck themselves. I don't give a shit. I want to play. You know what I mean? If this guy says he can tap you out and this and this, my ego's gonna bite a little bit. My ego will bite a little bit and be like, ooh, fuck that guy. All right, yeah, I'll take him. You know what I mean? Like, I do it constantly at open mat. Like, the guy's tapping everybody out. I want to face that guy every single time. Even if he's a higher belt, I still want to face him and see how I do against him. That's an ego. I put it like this. This is the best way I'd put it to you. If I turn around and we was just like talking, whatever, and I had some friends that were like fucking 6 foot odd dumb giants, and I was like, they could beat you at basketball. You'd be like, well, yeah, fuck off. I don't care. Yeah. If I turn around and went, oh, I've got like a rugby friend, and he turned around and said he could fucking wrestle the piss out of you, you'd be like, fuck.
Bring him in. Fuck that. Bring him on. Bring him on. That's what I would do. Bring him on. Let's go.
Like, what are you saying? Come on.
That's exactly. So the ego is a big deal. So I agree with you, man. And it's like, I just have a hard time believing Conor gives it, first of all, he's not going to give a shit. Just like you said, he stands to make a cool 100 million plus. And by
sponsorship money, because apparently he doesn't have to wear any Reebok shorts.
That's exactly, that's 100% exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, he might get, let's say he gets 100 million, even if it's half of that, because some of that money is going to go to UFC, right? Let's just say it's 50 million. That fucking sponsorship deal is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be stupid. He's walking away with at least 200 million, I think, out of this thing, okay? So at that point, you're right, ego, okay? Why would you want to come back and fight for, and this is funny to say, why would you only fight for 4 million or 5 million or 6 million when you just made 200 million fighting, and probably losing, right? But still made all that money. what's the point? And he said it. And you and I talk about it all the time. He said before that as soon as he's not going to be here forever. He's not going to be one of those guys that's like a BJ Penn hanging on too long. He's not. You know what I mean? So
he could be out of the game before he's 30. Think about that.
And if I were him, I would be. If I were him, I would be. Remember when that guy, that one dude died at the fight that he was cornering? Like it was his fighter killed that one dude, and unfortunately, during the fight, whatever. But it fucked him up.
100%.
He's got a family, dude. He's got a family now. He's got a little one that's fucking gonna depend on him for everything. It's already depending on him for everything. You know what I mean? I don't have kids yet, but I imagine that fucks with you a little bit.
I'll put it like this: if you care so much, like I'll put it like this: me and you, we both have pets. Like we both have dogs. And I love my dog to pieces, and like I do anything for my dog. I can't imagine what it'd be. The emotional connection would be magnified by when it's my own child.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be insane. I just personally believe the only reason that you'd fight is because he fought. Like I don't know how to put this. I don't think he's scared. Like no. This is the key word. He's already fought against Nate twice, so there's no fear. There's no fear. Like he's beaten him once. He's been beaten by him once. So he knows what to do, what not to do. And I think that fact that there's one apiece, and you could have one more fight that could solidify that you are the best. Because the thing is it'd be the greatest middle finger goodbye by having that be his last fight. Because, and I truly believe this, I think that Conor is one of those guys that he doesn't care necessarily what hardcore fans think, but if he has the opportunity to piss people off,
he takes it,
prove them wrong, that is his parting gift from the UFC. He goes, I am going to walk away the undisputed, undefeated 155 champion, the first time two-time champion, because nobody took that 45 belt away from me. Right. I fought against Floyd in the biggest fight of all time, and the only person that ever beat me in the UFC, we had a trilogy, and I walked away the victor. That's the biggest thing in the world to him. I think there's nothing more. After that, there's nothing more. But if you have fucking Tony fucking Ferguson, who I love, in my opinion, is the best 155er outside of Conor. As far as like in the UFC anyway. I agree. Chandler and other people like that. But the point being is outside of Conor, I think 155ers, he's the only person who is legit the baddest man when it comes to 155. I don't think Khabib's as good as everybody makes out. I think he's had good matchups, or he's fought people at the right times. You know, people can say whatever they want about Conor and stuff like that. He fought Eddie Alvarez in his prime and he beat him. Do you know what I mean? He beat Jose Aldo in his prime. You know, he beat certain people in their prime. Whereas Michael Johnson is always hit and miss.
Right.
He's always hit and miss. Whenever the big lights are on him, he always seems to kind of falter. The same way he did against Dustin Poirier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. The thing with Conor, I mean, you said it yourself right there. It's the ego thing. It's, you know, pissing everybody off on the way out and shit. But he says it himself. Doubt me now. After he won that majority decision against Nate, you know, he said, "Surprise, surprise, motherfuckers, the king is back."
That was the best thing ever.
Yeah, although he kind of stole that a little bit, but whatever. Not a big deal.
You made it
not
better.
A big deal.
You made it better. You made it.
Oh, hey, definitely. But the you know, the whole doubt me now shit that he keeps doing, and he's got fucking all this stuff. Like, doubt me now. People making fan art and all that shit with doubt me now and all this other shit. Yeah, definitely, absolutely. The talk's gonna start. And here's the thing: when he comes back, if he comes back, let's say, you know, win or lose against Floyd, whatever, he wants to fight again this year. Supposedly, there's not a lot of time left for him to do that either. You know what I mean? So I'd imagine he already has an opponent lined up, or the UFC does anyway for him, right?
Yeah.
If he comes back and it's not Tony Ferguson, it's going to be Nate Diaz, okay? And if it's Nate Diaz, win or lose, okay, win, Conor's out. He's done.
Yeah,
he'll leave. I'm telling you. Lose, then you got a question. Will Conor McGregor stick around or not off a loss? I think he will stick around and try to get that one back again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And it ends the trilogy as well.
And it ends it. Yeah. But let's say if he beats Nate Diaz in the trilogy fight, you can kiss him goodbye. He will retire. I think he retires in the cage.
There's nobody.
There's no one left. I mean, does anyone think? Look, I like Tony Ferguson a lot, just like you said. He's a funky guy with a weird style. Comes at you from weird angles. Conor McGregor comes at you from weirder angles with harder shots, and they're all everything he throws. It isn't. Conor doesn't throw feints. Not too many, right? He doesn't throw too many feints. What he throws has a purpose every time. Against Eddie Alvarez, every time he hit Eddie Alvarez, it had purpose. Every one of those punches was a "fuck you, pay me" kind of punch.
Malicious intent. Exactly. Shoot to kill. Every fucking shot. The thing is, though, is God. You know what? I'm gonna just fucking say it. Right now, I'm gonna go balls deep on fucking Conor right now. But
here we go.
The thing is that I do like about him is he makes himself long. So then when he comes in and he hits you, this is the thing that I think is going to be interesting with Floyd in those first opening rounds. Like for Conor, everybody's been talking about Floyd and what Floyd's going to do. He's going to run around. He's going to do this, that, and the other. Blah 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 blah. But what if Conor just stands in the other corner? Like the head games and the psychological warfare that could be done in that ring. You know, you could have Conor walk him down, literally just keep on walking him down and put his hands out in front of him, and then when he wants to, pop a shot off, because we've seen him do it. And there's a lot less room to run around in a ring than there is a cage. So Conor's got a better distance to cover than he does in a cage, because there's not as much for somebody to run around distance and this, that, and the other. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how he could go from this kind of MMA style, like low stance and whatnot. So he could go from that. He could go to a brawling sense. He could just literally engage him and walk him down and, you know, extend his reach and show how big he is. Or he could switch it into a third stance and he could go into a straight boxing stance, because we don't even know if that's been something over this 10 months, which will eventually be. We don't know what he's been doing. And that's one of the things that people are going, oh, you know, he's going to figure out Conor in a minute, or he's going to knock him out in a minute. But it's interesting to kind of see the different varieties of a fight we could potentially see in that amount of time, because we've seen it in the cage. We've seen it where he's gone in a boxing stance. We've seen it in an Ali kind of esque stance. And it's going to be very interesting to kind of see that. And I think that the only problem is if he loses and he retires, and he just retires, he just doesn't come back to the UFC. Long term, will it be the kind of modern day Tito?
Wait, Conor?
Yes.
Modern day Tito as far as what?
As in context of, like, people never talk about Tito as being the great champion that he was.
No.
They always talk about him being the poster boy. They always talk about him being this talker, you know, the flashiness and all this, that, and the other. They never seem to talk about, you know, like his great fights, his great wins. And do you know what I mean? Because he had a fair few. He was a good champion. Do you know what I mean? Like, he really was. But there was other great fighters. And, you know, it was the golden era of 205ers. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just what it was. But if Conor was to walk away, there's too many question marks.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, I know what you're saying. Like the thing is, the biggest difference from then and now from Tito and Conor is the amount of people watching.
Yeah, but you could say the same thing about. Okay, then we could say the same thing about Brock Lesnar when he came and there was no Tito.
Right.
Are we ever going to say that Brock Lesnar was in the top 5 of greatest heavyweights of all time?
Hell no.
But he did the biggest numbers of any heavyweight of all time. And he did.
Oh, absolutely.
He did the biggest numbers that we'd ever seen. And he also did it in the quickest time we'd ever seen.
Okay, we're talking about context then. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, will people, if he loses and never comes back, will people talk about Conor in the same way they do Brock and Tito, as opposed to people like Anderson Silva, GSP? You know, like these people who we will talk about of being icons, not just because maybe they had great finishes, not because they were dominant, not because they had a load of title defenses, not because they sold multiple pay-per-views, but all of that. Like, we talk about them because they did various of these different things and who they beat, and Conor beat some top guys. It's just the thing is, though, is if he doesn't beat Floyd, then there's a question mark of what his legacy is.
Sort of. So there will still be, here's the thing, because that's kind of what people have been talking about. Is the UFC, is the UFC going to lose? If McGregor loses, is it bad for the UFC or bad for MMA? Absolutely not. It's a different game, right? But if he wins, okay, if he loses, there will be an argument that people will make. It will be made. I guarantee it. And they're not already making it now, which I'm sure some people are. That McGregor could go down as the greatest fighter of all time. Okay, there will be an argument for that for sure. If he beats Floyd fucking Mayweather in boxing,
yeah,
the argument is there that he's the greatest fighter of all time.
I agree,
because he went out of his comfort zone, out of what he knows, into somebody else's world and beat them in their own world. If that somehow happens, you will never hear the end of McGregor. He will go down like a Michael Jordan.
See, the thing is, though, is what I mean. If he loses, he needs that one more fight in the UFC.
Yeah, he'll need that
legacy. That's what I'm saying. Because he might not wanna, he might not need to, he might not do it. But the point being is, though, is the legacy will not be solidified until he either defends his 155 belt, or if he beats Floyd. It's one or the other. If he does either of those things, his legacy is cemented, whether it be in MMA or whether it be in combat sports in general.
Well, that makes that Nate Diaz fight much more important, right? If he loses to Mayweather, it makes it way more important. Like, they need to keep Nate relevant, which honestly he's doing all right now just by talking. The Tony Ferguson fight would help him a lot. What?
Yeah. Come on.
Dude, you kidding me?
I don't think Nate is relevant in the context at all. The reason why I say this is the amount of fights that he's been offered, and he's just like, no, I'm just going to sit out. It's like, dude, you're not the money draw. Like, you're not even a part of the equation. Like, if you think about Nate, the only thing that matters in Nate versus Conor 3 is that versus Conor 3. That's the only thing that matters. He doesn't.
Right. But let's think it from Nate's side, though. Nate got paid, right?
Exactly.
He don't feel like he needs to fight. I honestly think that Nate's ready to get out of this shit. I really think that he's waiting for Conor. He's gonna get that one more payday, win or lose, and he's gonna fucking move on. He's already setting himself up. He's setting himself up already now to not have to fight anymore.
But if Conor loses that fight and he comes back, who do you think he's gonna take if he can take the easier route? Like, I'm not saying Tony's easier. I'm not saying Tony. But I'm saying, if you had the easier choice of the 3 guys who are considered the top 55ers, even though Nate technically isn't one of the top 3 55ers, what do? You take the easiest one, whichever you want to pick, and go, oh, okay, you want me to fight Khabib? I'll fight him in fucking Ireland.
That makes sense.
You want me to fight Tony? I'll fight him in Ireland. If it's Nate, you can say, I'll fight you we'll fight in Madison Square Garden, motherfuckers.
Oh, dude, that fight will be in New York. All right, that third fight's gonna be in New York for the dumbest reasons ever, but it's gonna be in New York.
But do you see what I'm saying though? Like, you can make something happen,
right?
Yeah. With that same thing said, if he has the choice, he's gonna pick Ireland.
And he'll pick Ireland,
and he'll pick one of the two,
and it'll be Khabib or Ferguson, right?
Because why would you want to make Nate millions when he's not even in the top 2 or 3?
Because of ego, but that ego is a little different.
If you can walk away though with, if I'm being completely honest, if I was a fighter, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says, if I've just walked away with 100+ million, and somebody said to me, right, are you gonna have one more fight? Go on then. Who do I get to pick from? Who do I get to pick from? Not you.
Yeah.
You don't get to see shit because you know the UFC are gonna go, who do you want? Who do you want?
Yeah, no, exactly. No, and they'll give him whoever he wants. They'll give him whoever he wants. By the way, let's say between now, let's say he wants. We're at fucking June right now. We got 6 months or so, right? A little more than 6 months if you count days and everything. Let's say he fights Mayweather in August. He'll be fighting in December in MMA if he comes back. Okay, if he's not injured and fucked up from that Mayweather fight, which I doubt he will be, but because actually Conor's been pretty goddamn durable. But let's say he fights December. Okay, I mean, shit. Now I think about it, it's kind of like that's a weird thing to even think about.
What?
Like, as far as like who you would pick, like between now and December. Basically, my point is this: between now and let's say September, it depends on what that 155 picture is, right? Let's say Tony says fuck it and fights, and let's say Nate says fuck it and fights Tony, and Nate wins. Nate's the guy.
Yeah, obviously, 100%.
Let's say Tony fight that Khabib somehow makes weight, ends up fighting Tony. Khabib wins. Khabib's the guy he's gonna fight in Ireland, right? Just the same as if Tony wins. It'll be Tony in Ireland. I mean, but imagine if somebody else at 155 move, fucking somehow ends up. Let's say Jose Aldo fights.
Bro,
has like some crazy fight. No, listen. Hear me out. Hear me out. Listen. All right, Jose Aldo. It's hard for him to make 145. He's at 155. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Jose Aldo's got to move up. Let's say Jose. Look, he already knocked out Jose in 13 seconds. Why won't you take that fight?
Bro, you're making me feel sick right now because you just legitimately said to me that you potentially could imagine that Jose Aldo, who just got fucking sparked by fucking Holloway, could potentially Conor again.
You're talking if he picks the easy fight.
Yeah, but
that's a fight.
He wouldn't want that fight because he beat him in 13 seconds.
I think he'd want that fight.
Never.
I think he would take that fight.
No, I don't think he'd take that fight because I don't think it'd finish in 12 seconds.
But you need Jose to win a fight though. That's for sure. You need Jose to win one fight.
3 people in 3 months.
No, dude, he can win one fight. He can get one fight and fight in December. Yes, he can.
Bro, get the fuck.
Okay, how about this? Let's hear this. Hear me out on this one.
Who does he need to beat? Hold it. Right. Name me 2 people he could beat in the next 6 months.
Fuck.
In the 155. 155. And he has to beat. Right. I'm gonna run the list of where's the fucking.
Okay, do it. I was pulling up the rankings, but go ahead. Yeah.
I got you, bro. Don't worry. I got you. Right. So we are looking at 150. Right. Okay. So 155ers, we're going from the top 6 upwards.
Okay.
Just to make it fair.
All right.
You have a choice of Michael Johnson.
I got all on that one.
That's fair. I can understand. But I think Johnson's got better hands. You've got Dos Anjos. Oh, well, Dos Anjos is still in the lightweight rankings, but he's a
170-er.
But we'll just take him out then. But in fairness, if Dos Anjos wasn't, he'd wrestle fuck the shit out of Aldo. Let's get it straight.
Probably, yeah. Well, Aldo has great takedown defense, but besides the point.
Yeah, fuck. Rafael Dos Anjos is gonna bear hug him and just drop that kid like a.
Out of here! All right, whatever. He's not even 55ers. Move on.
Okay. Barboza.
I got Aldo on that one.
Get the fuck out of here!
Are you serious right now? Aldo kicks the shit out of him.
And you're telling me Edson Barboza would not kick the legs out?
Oh, no, he would. No, he would. No. He would. Okay? That's a different fight you're talking about. This isn't fucking Holloway Aldo we're talking here.
Dude, if Barboza leg kicked Aldo, he would not have legs.
Okay. Let's also, by the way, that's true. Let's also put this into context of the UFC now. It's not about fair. It's not really about rankings. It's about what fight's going to sell.
Yeah, but the point is, though, is the only names that would sell and potentially get him a title shot. So, right, Eddie Alvarez.
He'd have to beat Eddie Alvarez, and he can't do it. I don't think.
Eddie Alvarez. So we move to Tony Ferguson.
And that's a fight I want to see, by the way.
He does not beat Tony Ferguson.
I don't think so either. I really don't. And especially now Max Holloway just starched him.
Khabib. Bruh.
I want to see that fight, too.
I want to see that fight, but I can just see him getting wrestle fucked.
I think so too. Here's the thing. The point is this: you're talking about the easiest fight. If it's just for shit, listen.
Title shot.
No. Well, look again. He got a fucking title shot of Dennis fucking Seaver. What are we playing here?
He beat like 3 or 4 people before that.
A bunch of Dennis Seavers, or guys that were too young.
Dustin Poirier, bro.
Dustin Poirier was way too young for that shit. He was inexperienced. All right, whatever. All right, moving on. Whatever. Fuck out of here with that shit. All right. Point is this: if he picks the easiest fight, let's say out of those guys you were talking about, Conor McGregor picks the easiest fight out of Tony, Khabib, and Nate. Even though I don't even think Nate's like top 10.
Nate's not even in the top 8. He is 8.
8.
Come on.
They'll still give him that fight, regardless.
He doesn't fight anyone.
Well, he's not gonna fight Eddie Alvarez. He's not gonna fight Edson Barboza. Ooh, what if RDA came back down to 55? You think he takes that fight?
What, against Nate?
No. Barboza against Conor. Not Barboza. Sorry, RDA against Conor. They were supposed to fight in New York.
I don't think he fights him. I think he says fuck him. I think he says fuck him. Because there's no money in fighting him. You know what I mean? Like, For Conor, it's all about the payday. So it's like if he's going to earn money, he wants to earn crust. Do you know what I mean? And I think if he did against Khabib, every Russian in the entire planet would tune in for that fucking thing.
You know what? I think Khabib would be the fight. Now that I think about it. Now you say that, I think Khabib would be the fight. I don't think he'd take an easy fight.
But Khabib can't get a 150 title shot when he can't make weight. That's the problem.
He can't even make weight. Yeah. I don't even know why is Khabib still ranked above Ferguson.
Because they didn't give the win to him.
Yeah, but Khabib can't even. I don't know. Fucking journalists and or MMA media journalists, quote unfucking quote. Okay, assholes that think they can vote on this shit. Stupid. Anyway, all right. Fucking, we talked enough about Conor. We fucking went like 45 minutes on just this shit.
Yeah, no,
whatever. We didn't talk.
Is how good was that head kick by Holly Holmes? That's one thing I wanted to.
Yeah, the question mark kick was legit.
And my favorite tweet in the entire world was, when you get hit with a question mark kick, hit the canvas and raise your hand like you have the answer.
She did too. Yeah.
Ever. Sir, you are a fucking god for that tweet.
When she got hit and Correia drops and puts her arm up, I'm like, is she asking for a timeout? Like, what the fuck? wait, crack. You know what I mean?
That was the worst thing though. Holly just ran up and just.
Yeah. Now, immediately after that knockout, you know what people were saying? 145-pound title shot.
Obviously.
They were yelling, they were screaming that. Now, we're not going to get that. We're getting Cyborg against Megan Anderson. For anyone that hasn't heard, GDR got the belt pulled because she's too scared to fight Cyborg or doesn't want to fight Cyborg. Whatever reason it is, she won't fight Cyborg. So now it's you know, by the way, Durandamy looks awful in this, okay? Because they're making it sound like she's scared to fight Cyborg. You know what I mean? This is what it is.
Scared of somebody. That's the irony.
Yeah, weird. So
you know what, right? I'd love for every MMA media, like media personnel, like journalists, whatever, to have to write that article and then stand next to Jermaine Durandamy as they click post.
That'd be the best. That's for everybody though. That's for every fucking article ever written. Every single one that was like Nate this, or even the Conor articles, the ones that talk shit about Conor. Like why don't you guys stand next to Conor and do that shit?
I'd love for people who say, "Oh, that guy's scared," or "That girl's scared." I'd just like stand next to him. Tell them that they're scared. Like
did you ever see that Jimmy? I think I want to say it was Jimmy Kimmel. That Jimmy Kimmel like fucking segment where they had Nate Diaz out in California, and then this guy with a microphone. Yeah, the other microphone goes up to random people. It's like, hey, who you got in the McGregor and Nate Diaz fight? People like, McGregor's gonna fuck him up and other shit. And then Nate Diaz comes behind like, hey, what's up? Oh shit, Nate Diaz, what's up, man? Like all of a sudden he's bros with him. Like, you know what I mean? Like people are so full of shit. It's fucking hilarious, especially here.
You also to cover your ass because that guy could legit slap the piss out of you.
And he will. That's the fucked up part. If he's mad at you, he will fuck you up.
You know what, right? It'd have been really funny if somebody like you, like, you know, somebody of your size turned around and you just talked mad shit about Nate and he came out and, like, you know, said, what's up, motherfucker? And you was like, it is what it is, bro. Imagine somebody just punking out Nate just live on TV, like, what it is.
Like someone, it would have to be someone that can actually like hold their shit, like hold their
own. Like somebody just like was like, well, he's not gonna hit me, he's on camera, so I know I could get away with saying shit right now. But I know when that camera goes off, I'm after
run. Yeah, you gotta be on you better be running. And good luck.
Swim. I might need to cycle because that bitch's gonna triathlon me.
Yeah. This guy's got mad cardio, man. Run. You better be fucking. You have an escape plan of some sort in a vehicle. There's no way you're getting away without a vehicle. Or like an armed escort.
Talk that shit and just be like, yeah, what it is? What's up?
No, dude, but yeah, fucking talking about the Holly Holm thing. What's next for her, man? Just real quick. What do you think is next for Holly?
Holly Holmes is gonna fight Cyborg after. Right, hold on. Let me say this. Whoever wins, because I do think Megan's got a good chance.
She's got a great chance. She's got the best chance at 140 that we've seen anyone else having a Cyborg, in my opinion.
I think the only thing that worries me from Megan is that she's fighting against a Cyborg that doesn't have to cut too much.
Right. Cyborg's not going to be cutting like 30 pounds, maybe?
Yeah, she's only going to be cutting about 25, so it shouldn't be
25?
Bad. She's only cutting like 25 pounds. But if I'm her, I'll have been trying to keep my weight down around 65, maybe 62.
Yeah, exactly. She needs to keep her walk around weight down for this one.
Exactly.
I mean, believe me.
Title. Because the only thing that scares me more than anything is imagine if Cyborg pulls out this fight from a weight.
Oh my god. Mind you, I'm sick of hearing about her shit, by the way. I'm sick of hearing about Cyborg.
I was so glad that it got announced that I literally tweeted out, like, I'm so glad this fight is announced because now we can just get on with life.
Yeah, seriously. That shit got irritating as fuck. Now, UFC 240... Huh?
It was the female version of Conor and Floyd. We'd been waiting.
Oh, God. Except with way more bitching and complaining. Like, way more. Like, by a lot. Fucking... And all by Cyborg, mind you. Cyborg did the most complaining. Yeah, right. Not Vanderlei. Anyway, but let's think about this. UFC 214 is in a little over a month. It's July 29th. We're in June 20th today.
Yeah.
Okay? We're a little over a month. If she's walking around right now 180, 175, that's still a bitch of a cut, dude.
I don't think she's that high up. I think she's known that she's going to be getting a fight for that title.
She's doing training already. I hope so.
I don't think that she's going to be walking around at like 170 already. I think she's down to like 160 or something like that already because she's been told she's fighting on that card for so long. And she's saying that she's fighting on that card for so long. I think that it's just been a case of, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. That's what I think.
Yeah. By the way, UFC.com, you disrespectful fucking asses. All right, you don't even have a picture for Megan Anderson on here. Yeah, because you have a picture of Cyborg.
They've only just signed her though. Like
they basically own Invicta. You can get a fucking picture from these assholes. What the fuck? God damn it! This isn't Noob Sabiat. You're fighting. You're fucking fighting. You know what I mean? God damn.
But, bro. What I want to know is what's happening with in the Invicta 145 title because
Tonya Evinger moved up.
Oh.
I don't know if it's for the title. It might be. It might not be. But she did move up, and I think she intends to fighting for that 145 belt at some point.
Okay, well, that makes more sense.
By the way, Tonya Evinger not fighting like the UFC 135ers kind of weirds me out a little bit because then you got to think about the reason why she's not in the UFC. It's honestly because it looks, but
I don't buy that because there's some ugly women in the UFC.
No, for sure. But she's like. I don't know. She doesn't follow the line that the UFC girls do. Like, oh, yeah, I respect my opponent. She's really, other than Ronda, she's really nice, and we're going to hug after the fight. She comes up with a fucking, she comes up with her hat, basically style like you're in right now. Like, some motherfuckers, I just won this shit. All right. And then she, kisses, the chick that does the fucking interview afterwards.
After she puked, bear in mind.
Yeah, after she puked, which I feel really bad for that announcer chick because goddamn.
She tried to kiss her again, didn't she? After the second time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Tonya Evinger gives no fucks. I enjoy Tonya Evinger. All right, her fights. Yeah. Besides that, her attitude's hilarious. She is entertaining as shit to me. Like the fact that she did that after she puked, I was like, oh shit! Did the other chick just pay attention? Did she know that she puked? Because I'd be sick shitless after that. You know what I mean? And she doesn't give a fuck. Tonya Evinger gives no fucks. You know what I mean? I'm surprised she's not training in fucking Stockton with those guys. She's out in Houston, I think. But you imagine her? She would fit in right well with the fucking Diaz brothers.
Well, yeah, because they could form some little fucking clique. There'd be Sage Northcutt, who's the come up kid, who's going to be turned into a drug dealer by the age of 22, and he's going to be the running boy.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. No, but regardless, so Tonya Evinger moves up.
You're thinking of them as a clique now, aren't you? Like a fucking NWA from Stockton.
Dude, that'd be the shit. Hey, fucking somebody out there from Stockton, hit me up. I will be your marketing genius on this shit. I will come up with some good fucking shit. All right, everyone's gonna get rich.
Who says this is wearing a represent cap? I think you already kind of know who to hit up.
I know, right? I know. That's true. That's a good point.
Anyway, acting he don't know what he's talking about.
That's a good point. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I got Reb gear all day. But anyway, but yeah, Evinger moves up. I don't know if it's gonna be for the belt. But just to wrap up the Cyborg Anderson shit, let's say no matter who wins, Holly Holm's probably gonna get that fight.
That's the next fight, and that's the best fight in the 145 division.
Yeah.
There's no fight in that division that's worth watching other than Cyborg versus Holly Holmes.
There really is. I thought we'd get that fight a lot sooner. Except, when you go on a 3-fight losing streak, it's kind of difficult to give you one.
Oh, when you get your ass handed to you in 3 fights, it kind of makes things difficult. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't care what anybody says. The fact is, though, is that Jermaine de Randamie fight was the sum after the bell shots twice, yeah. But also Holly Holmes kicked her between the sticks and nobody said shit. I know she hasn't got a dick, but come on, guys, they can't tickle. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah.
The point being is that's the legit fight. Like, that is the fight and the only fight in that division that makes any sense. Nobody else in that entire division. It's kind of a shame that they didn't bring it out a little bit sooner so we could have seen Misha potentially go up in that weight. And it's also a shame that they didn't bring it around, so that we could see that. But it is what it is.
Yeah, no, it's we just missed out on that shit anyway. What was the other thing I want to talk about? That fucking Singapore card, the fucking co-main event. The first round was good. The rest of that fight sucked. The whole card, the card was like, okay, it happened.
The card was one. I think it's in the top 3 worst cards of this year.
And this year, yeah. By the way, shout out to John Moraga, former teammate at Combat Sports. Good shit, boy. Anyway, but other than that,
we mentioned when we were talking about female fighters because you didn't respond when I DM'd you the Angela Hill video, the Nicki Minaj challenge.
The Nicki Minaj challenge,
where she's walking into Alliance.
Oh, I didn't watch it. I was driving when you sent that.
Bruh. She turns around and she's like walking like Nicki Minaj and all this other bullshit, and she turns around and says, what is it, like walking into the Alliance MMA gym, some of your bitches can't even spell Alliance MMA. It's like, bruh. She's probably one of my favorite people on Twitter to follow. Like, Angela Hill's a beast, so.
Yeah, no, she's Angela Hill's hilarious, and they're missing out on her personality, by the way. She should be more popular, especially on Twitter.
Do you think, like this just going forward, do you think that we're in the kind of back end of what people are calling the WME era, we're all getting these super fights? Do you think that after this super fight, there is nobody else, barring the Conor and Nate fight, that's a super fight? Like, let's be honest, that is the only remaining super fight. There really isn't any other. Do you think we're going to start seeing them kind of move towards the traditional kind of style of like rankings and people in that are near to facing each other?
I think they'll have to, unless you get another Conor somewhere out of nowhere starts talking, right? I think they're gonna have to, because you need contenders, and they got to fight each other to figure out who's number one, right? But they're gonna have to, man. I don't see any other way. I really don't. I mean, you can try and sell some bullshit cockamamie fight as a super fight. People, after a while, start realizing that you're full of shit. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of people a while. Some people get it right away. Like, we know they're full of shit, but sometimes it takes people a while to fucking realize that that the WME's full of shit with some of these fights, and then it's gonna have to go back. Unless they try to sell some stupid shit like GSP against whoever the fuck is a super fight. It's not,
I think that we will see more rankings. We will see more ranking kind of esque fights, because at the end of the day, you're gonna see that transition where they need to start building stars again, and they're only going to be able to do that by completely working their way up and kind of getting there. So
sorry,
you just got the DM that I just said.
I just got your DM.
Yeah, like bruh. Like, the thing is though, right, is like, I'm just gonna say this right here, right now, right?
Yeah.
For me, like I've said this to some people, because me and a couple of people who are friends on Twitter, like Ryan and other people like that, and we was talking about this whole MMAJA or whatever the fuck it is, ABCD, G, and all that motherfucking shit. So we was talking, and like, I don't consider myself MMA media. Like, I've looked at it and I've gone, right, dude, I'm past this bullshit. I don't think that that's the way that I want to be represented. I think that there's too much shadiness. Like, for somebody who tries, at least I try to be as honest as I can all the time. Like, there's moments where I just can't say shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have to hold out because there's something like I need to work on. But like 99% of the time, I always try to be direct and completely honest in everything I say. I can't deal with the tickling of somebody's back and then tickling somebody else's back, but in between kind of throwing shade at other people. I can't do it.
Right.
I can't do it. And for me, that's the disappointing thing that I see in a lot of people. Like when we're seeing people who do articles, like companies, and they'll talk shade about somebody. These are the journalist accounts, not the actual like website accounts.
Right.
And you'll see people who are talking shade about certain folk, and then next minute they're best friends and promoting that person. It's like, you was talking crazy shit a week ago.
And that happens a lot in especially mainstream media, right? For example, you know, like I say, in ESPN, for anyone who watches First Take and all those other shows with Stephen A. Smith, does the same shit. Talks shit about players and other guys, but then all of a sudden he's buddies with them, right? It's, you know, it's ridiculous. But it happens a lot more in MMA media, like a lot, like a ridiculous amount.
It's crazy how many MMA fighters follow certain journalists and they talk mad shit about them, but don't tag them, obviously. And then 2 minutes later, they'll be talking to them, like on the flip. It's like, come on, bro.
Yeah, it's all bullshit, man. It really is. You know what I like is when people see those tweets and then they like retweet it with the quote tweet, and then they tag the fighter. It's like, oh, you didn't have the balls too? No problem. I'll do it for you. Boom.
Oh,
and then it starts some shit. I love seeing that.
See, this is the thing. This is the thing. I've kind of lost out now. I can't do it. Just for everybody who is wanting to be in the know, what I'm going to start doing is with these episodes, this is the plan anyway, give us a few weeks to work this all out. What we're going to start doing is with these live episodes, we'll be doing these live, and then over the next few days we'll be breaking them down into segments, and we'll posting mini videos so that you can watch these all in mini episodes, so you can see about certain subjects, so that if you need to catch it on the fly, you can do. We'll also be doing this on SoundCloud and iTunes, so you'll be getting mini episodes. So you'll be getting, like, say this is episode 27, you'll get like an episode 27.1, 0.2, 0.3. So like we'll break it down so each subject's correlating in that thing. So you might only get like 2 minute, 3 minute episodes, but if you're not really bothered about us talking about drinking like we were at the beginning of the episode, you can flash forward, and if you only want to hear about Conor stuff, you can hear about Conor stuff. If you want to go back and you want to hear about Jermaine Durandamine, you can flick all through that. Additional to that, what I'm going to do is there will be wiggle room with this, but we will be doing Twitches, and they will be on the Tuesday, and they will be on the Friday every week. I'll be twitching when Eddie can, Eddie will. But I will be twitching on Tuesdays and on Fridays. And on Thursday, we'll be doing another episode where we break down the cards. And then on the Sunday, what I'm hoping to do with the video game stuff is I'm gonna especially anyway, but I'm gonna start posting video gameplay of like tutorials or kind of makes, builds, and all that kind of other stuff. Because I've been working, you're gonna love this. I've been working on my NBA game, like my 2K. I've been focused. I've been studying. I've been in the lab. I've been looking it all up. I've been trying to figure it all out. And I think over the summer, because a lot of people will be playing over the summer in preparation to kind of have something to do, and for when 2K18 comes out. So for people who are going to be getting it in the summer just to kind of play it, I'll be kind of doing like a beginner's guide, because obviously I picked it up a few months ago, and kind of shouting out certain people that I've been talking to, and what's the best way to kind of start that might suit your playing style. So we'll be dropping hopefully one video a week, and that'll probably be on the Sunday. So when your day of rest is then, you want to just chill and play video games when you're hungover as shit, like you can just kick back, learn, check it out. It'll be small videos, maybe 10 minutes, but that's the plan for the future of the Heel Hook YouTube page. So
yeah, and I'll be doing the tutorials on hangover food, like burritos and quesadillas and shit like that, tacos. I'm fucking with them. I'm not gonna do any of that shit. I'll be eating that stuff.
I was really concerned that you were saying that you was going to do a tutorial on something real foul on a Sunday morning. I was just like,
no, I had something in mind, but I wasn't going to do it.
This is going to go sideways real quick.
No, it was funny. I was on PS4, I think yesterday, the day before, and you know how it tells you who's online? Like, I was playing 2K, and it started, you know, like you can, like, it says, yo, you know, you're doing it too. I was like, oh, Ashley's playing too. It's like my career. I'm like, these motherfuckers training too. All right, bitch. And fucking get on there. I was gonna fucking like just challenge you right then and there, but I was like, I was not
Scared.
sober.
Scared is the word.
Oh no,
Scared.
fuck that. I was not sober. No,
Scared.
scared my ass. Bring it on, dude. Don't worry, dude. Yeah, we'll see how scared I am July 7th, motherfucker. You're gonna get your ass whooped on it.
Bro, like I actually know how to do shit now. Like I actually know how to play the game.
Good. I'm glad. It'll make it harder.
I know how to.
It'll be more satisfying for you getting your ass whooped.
I know how to do screens now. I know how to do like alley-oop passes.
That's what I know.
You already knew how to do them beforehand.
This is Connor vs. Nate 2 right here. I've been working on my shit. I got a strategy. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna win a majority. I'm gonna win a majority decision, but I'm gonna tell everyone how I kicked your ass. I win by like 2 points, but I'm gonna tell everyone how I whooped the shit out of you in fucking 2K.
Dropped like Nate in the first and second, like a
whatever, bro. Bring it on, dude.
It's just going to be so much fun because the simple fact is now is there's no way you're beating me in UFC, so I ain't going to have to shave my head like Dan Hardy and dye my hair live on my 24-hour Twitch.
You're going to do it.
Bruh, come on.
You're going to do it.
What are you saying?
It's going to happen. You're going to do it. That's what I'm saying. You're going to do it. Anyway. All right, whatever, dude. We've been on for 2 hours, man.
Fuck, I didn't even know that we'd flown through that long. Fuck.
Yeah.
Right, shout out to the sponsors, guys, because we're going to piece up A-Town Down and Memento. Make sure that you check out Receptra. Make sure you check out Receptra, naturals.com, RECEPTRA. They do CBD oils, they do tropicas, hemp-based products, and basically they're great for inflammation, a host of other medical benefits. Please do the research. You can find, even if you just type in CBD oils, you'll find vast amounts of information. You can go back and check some of our past podcasts that we had with Lane TR and even one of the representatives. I forgot his name now, but we had one of the main guys from Reception come on. You can check him out also. I think it was F-Ball, I think his name was. But anyway, you can check those episodes out and you can hear the information about CBD oils. But I highly recommend it. It does wonders for my inflammation when it comes to my back and my shoulder. It helps with Eddie as well. Like he's used it for his arm. I don't know if he's been using it for your back or not.
I still have some of that cream left, so I've been using that, and it's helping. It actually is helping quite a bit. So
use Receptra, naturals.com. That's RECEPTRA. If you're in the States, if you're in the UK/Europe, then use receptraglobal.com with the code word The Heel Hook, all one word, 10% off. We treat you well. Secondly, make sure that you check out Bane. Bane do jiu-jitsu, athletic apparel, they do spats, they do rash guards, they do mugs. The midnight range is fucking ridiculous. And for a man who loves black clothing, I need more of it in my life. So make sure that you check them out. That's Bane, BAIN store.com. They ship worldwide. You can get 10% off when you use the word The Heel Hook, and that's your code. Gets you 10% off as well. All these will be in the description afterwards if you need them. If not, you can check them out on my Twitter page and also in the Heel Hook page. Last but not by any means least, Huel. Yeah, check out Huel, man. They do Nutrient Complete shakes. I swear by those bars. They put me on for like 2 or 3 hours. They're not meal replacements. What they are is to put you on until you can have a solid meal. But they're Nutrient Complete, so they put you in a good position for your day to take it on from the moment you get up. So check out the shakes. You can get an array of different flavors from rhubarb and custard, chocolate, vanilla, toffee. Like there's a whole kind of crazy bunch of flavors that you can check out. Yeah, man. So make sure you check us out on the Heel Hook. You can check us on Instagram. That's the Heel Hook. The Twitter is the Heel Hook Show. You can check me out at Ashley Lamprey on Twitter. That's ASHLEYLAMPREY. And yeah, twitch.tv/the Heel Hook, where July 7th you will witness the massacring of a Mexican. He will be a Mexican dead and buried in the sand by your boy. I'm coming through with the British flag, conquering.
You know what? You better hope that happens for you.
I don't need to hope. What do I need hope for, bro?
You can get your ass whooped. You can get your ass whooped. That's what it is. That's what it is. Whatever.
The St. George fucking war paint on.
What the fuck? What? No, you're not. Whatever. All right, you know what? Bring it on, dude. Bring it on. You're going down. You're going down, you know it.
Where can I catch you at anyway, Eddie?
On Twitter at Elot31, on and also at Crossroads MMA, and at the MMA Advocates, and on Instagram is at Crossroads MMA. And of course, crossroadsmma.com has all our podcast videos, all that shit. So New shit dropping all the time.
Word. Yeah, by the way, because I feel like we should kind of push that out there, but you can give a little shout out to your boys.
Oh yeah, of course, represent. RepTheAdvocates.com. Get yourself the hat. Ash has one right now. One of the represent hats. The snapback. Original R.
Beautiful as ever.
Damn right. I got the flag right here on the front. Of course, representing the back. Of course, they also have the fitted caps as well with R and everything. Dude, there's just too much good shit to even talk about. They have the newest stuff is they have sleeveless shirts. And if you're a Golden State Warriors fan, there's one the title. There's an actual Golden State it's a Golden State kind of minor, or what is it called? Whatever. There's a fucking Golden State like Warriors shirt, sort of.
Yeah,
so go check it out. RepTheAdvocates.com and hook yourself up.
Yeah, man, that's everything, guys. So thank you again, as always, for checking us out. We'll be back on Thursday to do the breakdown. We'll do like a mini breakdown for Cage Warriors just to nail down some of the big fights, and we will also break down the UFC Oklahoma. So yeah, man, tune in Thursday. Hope you enjoyed this. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Give it a like and share, guys. Support the up and coming YouTubers, and make sure that you check us out and show us some love. So thank you again for tuning in, guys. This has been the Heel Hook. Myself, Ash, and Eddie. We love you guys. Peace up. 8 down, motherfuckers. We're out of here.